Hello, people. I have actually done quite a lot between episodes. Thankfully, it's nothing none of you don't. Hang on, I'm getting my words in the right order. It's nothing any of you don't know how to do. So I'll just give it a quick once-over before we head into our next episode. First of all, obviously powered up all of this, made the vault bigger, also set up a frog port so that I can access this storage. We still have the depot over here. Secondly, the big thing is I have massively upgraded my drill. Basically, I went on a massive mining trip with my existing drill, got a bunch of iron, and then used all of that iron to make the drill even bigger. Now, I haven't taken this drill out yet, so I basically don't have any iron left. But I have also made a little processing system. So here, I would take the filters out, but it would break things. This will only take ores and will automatically crush them, and then this will take everything else and obviously not crush them. Which means that currently I've got a few leftover ores just getting washed over here. A little bit of iron, but not enough. Yes, I believe that's everything I did in the last episode, or between episodes even. Yeah. Now, this thing, I've decided I'm not going to put a roof on it yet, because I do actually want it to be bigger. I want there to be more kelp farming happening in there, but for the minute, I don't really have sufficient, well, anything really, to make that happen. Which is why today, and this may seem counterintuitive, but it'll make sense eventually. Which is why today, hang on, there we go. We're going to be leaving here. We're off to a new area, peeps, which is exciting, to say the very least. Right. Okay, that was just being weird then. That one. Yeah. So, sorry, brain buffered for a minute there. Come on, brain, you can do it. It's still ridiculously hot in England, so I can't think properly. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using trains. Now, we have already used an train here, but I very intentionally didn't give it the most in-depth explanation ever. Because I was saving that for this episode. Now I have got some rail. Not rail, track. Rail is for minecart. Which will be in this barrel. Yeah, we got a little bit in here, which I'm just going to chuck in my backpack for a minute. But I don't think that's going to be enough, which is why I've just smelted up some stone. We're also going to need some sturdy sheets. So I'm going to get this powered up, make some more rails, like I say, and then I will see all you lot on the other side. Probably do this as a time lapse because we all know how I like a time lapse. So yeah, I'll see you all in a little bit once I have everything that I think we're going to need. I'm going to bring everybody back because this is actually a bit of a thing. To my immense and genuine surprise, though I don't know why, something in my head said this was going to happen. I seem to have some sort of create mod spidey sense. This is overstressing the system. Now, ironically, I don't have enough iron to make a stressometer. Oh no, I've got a bunch of nuggets, hang on. Let me just knock up a stressometer so that we can see what's going on, if I can find the damn thing. There, stress-o-meter. And then we can just chuck that in there. Yeah. Jesus. I would have thought we'd have been producing a lot more than that. Oh, it's because you're not getting enough water, aren't you? Yeah, I forgot about that. I meant to fix that absolutely ages ago, and I'd just completely forgotten. Okay, well let me fix that real quick. I genuinely thought that we'd used up the entire boiler there for a second. Right, I will fix that. Sorry for interrupting your time lapse. Toodles. Hello people, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse of me legging it around, grabbing things, to the point at which I had to go out to, so that mine where we found that, like, 5 large iron veins, I found another one. It wasn't as big this time, only yielded about 20. I suspect quite a lot of it was cut off by the cave generation, but same cave, I found another one. So that's like, I think we found 3 or 4 in the last time we went down there, so that's 4 or 5 in there now. Anyway, I've still got sandpaper in my offhand. What I actually want is that. So, ordinarily I would just build all my stuff in one place, but because this is a tutorial series and I'm going to be building absolutely everything that I possibly can, rather than just the sort of things that I'd normally build, I am going to spread things out. It also makes things a bit nicer for you lot in terms of the word that I've forgotten. Scenery. Because you get to see a few different bits and bobs, which is nice. So, I want specifically to go to an eroded badlands because I think they're cool. So I found it on my nature's compass. I'm just going to lay out some track here. So you can place track normally, like a block, but what makes track extra special is if you interact with a specific piece of track, you can see some of this goes red and some of this goes green. Now the green bit is where you can place track. So if I now leg it over here to, like, I don't know, there, we've got a nice long straight section of track all placed out for us, which is obviously really useful when you're doing corners and things. Yeah. I'm just going to dig out a bit here while I talk. So yeah, we want to get this train track out over to that eroded badlands, which is a reasonable distance away. I don't think it should be too bad. That's probably way too far. Actually no, I think that's about right. You want quite a long section for your first station, which is why I will obviously tidy all this up, but that will be a build episode, not a this episode. You can also see how many track it's going to cost you. Ooh, I am just going to steal that iron. That's how poor I am. I'm having to steal iron from the floor. Copper's just force of habit. I need a block with some description. There you go, one random andesite, that'll do. So then we can connect that up there. Fantastic. Now I'm just gonna give ourselves a nice gentle slope getting out. There we go. And now we can get the train track, and you can see that it automatically does a slope for us. Now if you hold left control, you see that makes it smoother, and sometimes it will cost you more tracks and sometimes it will cost you less tracks. In this case it costs you less, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Most of the time you do want to do that because it makes it look a lot nicer and also makes it feel a lot nicer when you're in the train. Now the fact that we've got blocks poking up through our rail will be a problem, but a problem that we will be solving in the next episode. Today we're just going to be building this track. Well actually no, I'm not. No, I don't think I am going to be building this track today. That will be happening in the next episode. Today we're going to be discussing the construction of trains, for which we need a nice long section like so. Now, like I say, we have briefly discussed this, but I will go over it again. Train stations, they are directional, and whichever way you have that arrow facing, is whichever way the train can approach this particular station. In this particular instance, I think we want it facing this way, right down this end about there. Wonderful. Then once you place the station down, like so, that is now bound to that track, and you can interact with this station to first of all give it a name, and then to create a train. If you click create new train, you will see the section that this section behind even this one that this one is bound to will go blue. If you then fail to get some train casing and interact there, you get a bogie. You can then change that to a different variety of bogie, or interact again to change it back to the normal variety of bogie. You can then attach more bogies, like so, but you see, once I've attached one, so you can only have 2 bogies per carriage, basically. So if I were to put another bogie here, despite them being the same distance apart, those two would be rigidly connected, and those two would be connected through a chain, which would allow the train to bend at that point there. In order for a train to work, you need train controls, which is something I neglected to make, which requires precision mechanisms. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Just to make my life difficult. Okay. Let me just... we've got a system for it, and there's some sort of half-made ones in here, so let's see what we can do. What is it? Big cog, small cog, iron nug. Should hopefully be enough iron nugs in there. So let's just knock up some stuff. I should explain, the plan for this new area is it is going to be a sort of mining town, where we are going to be automating iron and gold and all that good stuff. I think I've got the small cog and the big cog the wrong way around, haven't I? Yeah. Anyway, we have precision mechanisms and apparently some andesite alloy. So let's just knock up some train casings. There we go. Train casings crafted like so. Frankly, look at JEI. Still need to put a hard door in that hole. I was going to say a hole in that door, that wouldn't make any sense, would it? Grab some kip, because we don't want to get blown up. That's happened far too much already. So, in order for a train to work, you need train controls on your leading bogie, or your leading carriage even, which in this particular instance is this one. Actually, I don't think it needs to be on the leading carriage, it just traditionally is, you know. So we can put them there, train controls, and you see, because this train isn't assembled, it doesn't get any levers. Now, in order for this train to work, we do need these two bogies to be connected. Like so. I do actually want some more train controls, which means I need another lever. How do I not have any cobblestone or sticks? Like, of all the things to not have, cobblestone and sticks, and I don't have either of them. Jesus Christ. Stick, cobblestone. In fact, give me a stack of both. There, right. Train controls, leave that, give me that. Train controls, give me that. Wonderful. Now, if you have one set of train controls like so, technically you can reverse. But you can only reverse at, I believe it's the third, a maximum of even a third of whatever your maximum speed is. But by having two train controls, both directions count as forwards. So you can select either one for forwards, which is useful in some situations. Now, trains are a little bit buggy sometimes, in that sometimes they will throw you off. So it is worth having a seat, which I believe are crafted like so, yes they are, to allow you to stay on the train. And that is basically everything you need for a train. This here, if I were to no, you need to glue it together, I forgot about that bit, so you need to glue the bogies and the train controls and the seat and everything. But that is basically everything you need to a train. If I assemble that, it'll assemble. I can then interact with these controls and use the the W key to accelerate, the S key to decelerate. If I then use these controls, as you approach a station you can hold space to approach that station and make sure that you park properly. You see that little flag goes up to tell us all that we have arrived at that station, which we can then disassemble. Now the reason we want to disassemble it is because I have something else to show you. If you use a barrel on your train and put some coal in it, or I think any sort of fuel works, but let's go with coal, and then let's assemble that again. This train will be able to go considerably faster at the expense of the coal, and you see what I mean about it being a bit buggy. I haven't actually got enough track here to reach max speed, but if you want your trains to be going faster, you can see that has expended a single piece of coal to get over there, and it accelerates faster and has a higher max speed. But that doesn't apply to vaults, so if you're transporting coal rather than using it, put it in a vault rather than a barrel or a chest, and it will be fine. The only other thing to add here then is if you were to get an animal and put it on that seat, or you can just use a blaze burner, that then becomes a driver of the train. You can then use a train schedule, like so, to add all these different actions. So I can say travel to station, home, you see that's logged. Those two are for the other systems for our lava, so home, you can then wait 5 seconds, or wait for a time of day, fluid and item cargo, that is, so you can put your, if you want it to go by redstone, you can put a redstone frequency in there, which we haven't talked about yet, but that will make sense in later episodes. Number of players seated, I think that applies to mobs seated as well, so if you were making the world's wackiest mob farm, potentially that could apply. Cargo inactivity means nothing's happening. Chunk unloaded and station powered are both fairly self-explanatory. And then if you want to clear it, you can just put it through a crafting grid like so. And that is basically everything to do with trains. Yeah, again, bit of a shorter one today. In the next episode, we are going to be building this track, so it's going to be a building episode, but a bit of a different building episode. We're going to be building this track over to the eroded Badlands. In fact, shall we leg it over there today? Let's go over there today, so you guys can have a look. Just while I'm doing my outro, let's see if we can make our way over there. Though it's like 3,000 blocks away, so okay, let's not go over there today, because I can't be bothered to walk all the way there and all the way back. I know, I'm good to you lot, aren't I? So yeah, I shall now do an outro, because we have basically finished. Today was a very, very short episode. I do apologise, but, you know, that is the hope, that we have enough stuff pre-set up that these episodes can just be like quick fire, this is how you do this, go, use it in your own world. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. I think you should like and subscribe if you did. Even if you didn't, I think you should do that anyway, because it makes me happy. Seeing the little numbers go up on the screen, you know. What sort of incremental gameplay would I be if I didn't enjoy that, eh? So, thank you for watching. I love you all very much. Like, subscribe, do the things the algorithm enjoys. Yeah, I will see you all in the next episode, I hope. Go watch the rest of my series, go watch my podcast, and I will see you all around. I've got to work out which button it is to stop the recording now. That one. Bye!